Stop inviting Black influencers to score cheap diversity points. Just stop it. Stop inviting Black influencers for the inclusivity aesthetic because you end up exposing yourself. I try not to get angry at things like this. Honestly, it does infuriate me. Sometimes it does. You just can't help but feel that way, especially if you see a woman that looks just like you being humiliated. A Black influencer, Alice, who is a celebrated hairstylist, who has worked so hard to build her brand. She was invited all the way to France, Cannes, to be precise, for the WIBA Awards. She was excited, she was hopeful, she dressed nice, only to be publicly humiliated in what felt like a cruel, calculated act of racism. You can't tell me anything else. She sat in that room and watched every other influencer of other races go on stage, receive their awards. But she kept on waiting and waiting and waiting, and she waited some more. They didn't call her name. Not once did they call her name until the end, when the entire hall was empty. I kid you not. It was empty. Everyone had gone. And here's the worst part. After she brought it up to the organizers, like, oh, you brought me here, you didn't give me my award, they decided to correct the situation. And so what they did was they actually called her on stage in an empty room. No applause, no audience, no community, just an echo. How tone deaf could this moment be? And you know what? They also asked her, do you have any few words? Few words for who? Who was in the hall? You know what? Let's take a look at the video.
Award, the WIBA 2025 Awards.
No.
Give it up for Alice McKendy! Alice, welcome to the stage. It would be great to hear a few words from you.
All I can say is thank you so much, WIBA, for embarrassing me in this event. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alice McKendy, our winner of the Multi-Platform Influencer Award. And that's the end of the show.
She said, thank you, WIBA, for embarrassing me. See, that one sentence, it said everything. This wasn't just an oversight. This was a pattern that we've seen too many times. You invite Black excellence for optics. You use Black presence for diversity points, like I mentioned. But when the cameras are off, when it's time to truly acknowledge and honor the Black excellence, you reduce it to silence. You embarrass them. You dehumanize them. Reports actually say that she was the only Black woman on that list. So just let that sink in. How dehumanizing was that? And even with all the odds stacked against her, she had earned her spot. She earned her place. Her work speaks for itself. In fact, that's why they invited her. She didn't ask for charity. She actually deserved that award, just like everyone else. Now, some people might say, maybe it's a mix-up. It probably was a mix-up. Or, maybe it wasn't intentional. But see, when it keeps happening over and over and over again, in fashion, in entertainment, in business, in beauty, it becomes impossible to ignore. You can't tell me that it was an oversight or it was a mistake. It seems calculated. This is what systemic erasure actually looks like. It's not always loud, let's be honest. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's that award that was forgotten. Sometimes it's that name that wasn't called, that moment that was denied. But here's what they didn't count on, right? She told her story. And because of that, the world now sees what too many Black women across the world actually experience, especially in predominantly white spaces. This wasn't just her moment. It was a mirror. And you know what? That's why we must keep telling these stories. We must keep speaking up because every time we shine a light, we reclaim our dignity. We remind the world that we're not invisible. Last I checked, they actually turned off their comment section on social media. WIBA, you need to do better. Because I could just imagine if this was me. Just imagine, after putting so much into my craft, I believe that people are going to recognize me or appreciate me and they call me for this award. And I get there only to be embarrassed, only to be humiliated. I don't even know what I'll do. I'll be in so much tears, like my heart will be so broken. It's tough. But I'm really hoping that brands actually reach out to her. You know, this exposure, I'm hoping that they finally get to see her craft even more. I know that she already had over 20 million followers across social media, but I'm hoping that this is giving her more exposure to even get more followers to appreciate her craft. And I'm hoping that this opens fantastic doors for her. WIBA, you must do better. You just must. So to that beautiful, talented sister, we see you. You're not alone. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through such a traumatic experience. Your voice has echoed louder than any award could ever have. Because guess what? Going there, it was on her account. She bought her dress, makeup, flight ticket, everything on her account just to be humiliated. What are your thoughts about this? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. My name is Ife Igwe, reporting from Nigeria. It's the African diaspora.